EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line, got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Burrow will throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. Open man. It's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they'll get the conversion on a gain of 14. It's Mixon on the counter. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd down. Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, just an excellent play there by the defense to not only pick it but take it back, because Charles looked like they were in a groove passing the football, several completions until that mistake.
They certainly did appear to be locked in, and with how this offense was moving along, I know we certainly didn't expect to see a pick to end this series. Whatever the cause was, maybe they tipped one of those scripted plays, maybe the defender just made a great read. It has certainly quickly changed the tone of this one.
That's good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9. Burrow eluding the pressure right to Mixon on the check down. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Burrow going for it on 4th. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that, but have 2 in the first quarter. That's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the 1st down. They love being physical.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. 3rd and long for Winston. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. They find some open field here. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's a give to Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. But a little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Off the play fake, Winston. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd down, Burrow. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Play fake. Winston. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Throwing again on second down. Winston, throw left side, taken in by Hill. The 40. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Kamara up the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Oh, this may be a free play for Winston. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 76 yards rushing here for Mixon. He's got a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And they go play action now. Burrow. He's going up top for Taylor. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 15. I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned.
Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there, but obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Kamara try the right side. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Mike Hilton, he came up nicely there and dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, Ingram. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Winston. That's out to the flat for Ingram. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
He's going to let this one go deep. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he's got some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And even 100 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And some space here. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now Burrow on first down. Got a man open. It's Chase. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're looking to throw this. Winston locates Kamara on the out route. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
4th down, Winston. There's Chris Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave, 48 yards. And the Saints have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
After the sack on 1st down, Burrow. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. He'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From midfield now, Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Again, it's Burrow. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here, he's got a man, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action now. Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. The Bengals drive about to get going.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Here we go. 180. Plays hot.
A final shot now for Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. One team clearly was in control from the start in this one, Charles. They had things humming on the offensive end, a few passing touchdowns, and their secondary on defense really helped to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they certainly did, Brandon, and let's face it, it may be cliche, but that secondary, they brought their no-fly zone signs to this one, didn't they? Shut down everything in the airways, and conversely, their own offense had its way through the air. They made sure their passing game was humming.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.